welcome to Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. I played this game a long time ago when it came out, and I was very happy to see it come out again in GOG. I prefer GOG to any other store, to be honest. I don't really like Steam, I certainly don't use Origins, and I really like to go back to the classics, especially now that Dragon Age Inquisition is out. This is the game that really set the Bioware formula in terms of characters instead of a lot of things, especially in the fantasy genre. This used to be what Bioware was all about. It created games using existing licenses like Star Wars and Dungeons and Dragons. This particular game is made using the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition set rules. And it was back in the last days of TSR when they got bought out by Wizards of the Coast. Right now we're going through a selection of character models and portraits, and let's see which one I'll choose. Well, some of them look pretty crazy. No orc, no, my guy's a human. He's a knight, so it has to be knightly and human. Oh, that looks like a good choice. Okay, handsome enough. What else? Okay, he's a human. We saw some of the bonuses there. Let's make him a paladin, because, you know, why not? Good combination of fighting, and melee and healing. A couple of kits. Well, we're gonna stick with the basics. Just paladin. Alignment has to be, and they said rule set has to be lawful good, so we're gonna go with that. Abilities. Okay, this is the old Dungeons and Dragons rule set. That means that any value below 16 is, for all intents and purposes, worthless. It will not give you an active bonus. It'll give you some bonuses that the computer will deal with behind the scenes, like how much you can carry and some reaction bonuses. You can basically keep rolling until you get the best. Because he's a paladin, he's always going to have charisma as being the highest. I chose that. I went with 16 strength, so I have bonus on that. Dexterity, it's okay. This is an specialization system that was brought over from Unearthed Arcana and integrated into 2nd Edition. Bioware expanded on it so that now you can sort of choose more than one specialization and stack up the bonuses. Multiple slots. And that kind of makes over for the fact that your stats are going to be pretty weak, and you're going to have to rely on proficiencies, and you're going to have to rely on magic to really carry the day. And there's some magic items that you can boost your stats later on, if you can find them. He's going to be a sword and shield guy, so that's why I chose that. This is the sprite that I'm going to have. And now let's go for the voices. I don't know, there are a few voices here.
Death to you all!
No, not like a paladin to me.
Your life ends here.
Okay.
Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
Sounds more like a rogue than a fighter.
You got this coming!
That guy is pretty high strung.
Let's give them a right thrashing.
A bit dandy.
Get over here!
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Right then, I'm in charge.
Yeah, that sounds like Saeed from Mass Effect 2, whose voice actor died a couple of years back. So, remember, he's working with Bioware for a very long time, apparently. So Alfred Dumont is our paladin character. We start in Candlekeep. Let's see what it brings us. You know little how you came to be Ward of Gorians, but over the years you have gleaned something of your mother's tale from his vague allusions and from the words he sometimes uttered in tear-filled sleep. Apparently I'm an orphan, in the righteous tradition of most Dungeons and Dragons characters. I mean, who cares about family when you can, just start up with whatever you got, right? Of your father you have learned nothing. Well, I hope I learned something. In fact, learning about my father is a key to this game, if you haven't played it before. I don't want to spoil everything too early.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly
I don't
wrong.
think he's gonna get a
Today,
chance to tell me
Gorion
much.
has appeared
You know,
more agitated than
most of the
ever,
time it's like, oh,
and
mentor,
now he has
help you out, blah blah, and
interrupted
then
your
the
chores
mentor,
in the
well, something
middle of
happens
the
to the
day,
mentor.
imparting
We'll see what
hurried
happens.
instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
This is BioWare's isometric view, the Infinity engine that they created for this game and was used in both Baldur's Gate as well as Icewind Dale. And this is the starting area where basically you have to check everything and also get a couple of simple quests in order to get XP before you actually start the adventure. And for some reason I have a big stick in my hands, you know.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
There's also the tradition back in the day of having limited dialogue. In other words, most characters will say something like that over and over again and not much else, unless they have a very specific thing to say that has always pre-recorded. This is very far away from the days of fully voiced characters across the board, especially main characters. Apparently I have 110 gold, and I'm gonna buy me a weapon. Like I said, I'm gonna be a sword and shield guy, so I'm gonna need a longsword. Wow, 19 gold pieces for a longsword? That seems a bit expensive. Oh yeah, but he'll buy it only for 3 gold. Nice. Yeah, clean urban arse. My arse. Large shield, because the larger the better. What else? Helmet? Why not? I'm feeling a bit horny right now. That's better. I mean, what the hell was I gonna do with it? That big stick, right? You'll notice armor class is at number 5 with the shield. That is a number, the lower that number is, the better. So it's a combination of shield, dexterity, and armor. In this case, I managed to get an armor class 5. In the old system, it was to hit armor class 0, and I have a base to hit armor class 20. The lower my to hit armor class number, the better, as it is my armor class. It's a weird system that used to advance Dungeons and Dragons. That is, for example, if somebody were to attack me right now, they would hit me with, I think, a 15 or better if they had it to hit armor class 20. But if they, unless they had a lower number, and that gets modified by their strength modifiers and magic weapons, if anything, that sort of thing. It's a sort of very negative thing. Essentially everything above armor class 0 is a bonus for the enemy to hit me. Anything below armor class 0 is a penalty. And getting -1 or more, it's it requires
It's
quite a
hard
bit
to
of bonuses
find
and magic and
decent
stuff like that. In fact,
folk
Armor
nowadays.
Class 5 was considered to be pretty good bonus starting off. Even though it basically gave +5 to hit to any enemy I encountered. And this guy just gave me my first quest, which is to find a scroll, because why not, right? The stalwart hero of the land does all the things that, well, a hero does, I suppose, like finding scrolls. The graphics are pretty good, although you kind of notice because of the age of the game that, you know, like the buildings and stuff look very CGI, like very late 1990s, early 2000s CGI. But the background, the trees and stuff like that it still holds up. So some things look kind of old, but others look okay.
I'm on it.
I should have joined the army.
Aren't you in the army already? I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Buy some crossbow bolts. Well, that means going back to the inn again.
Sorted.
The fat man's clean elven arse or something.
I'm on it.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
I suppose. How clean are elven arses? I mean, there's no toilet paper in pseudo-medieval fantasy worlds, is there? Or are all elves so magical that they have a all-knowing cantrip to clean their arses or something? I don't know. I really don't want to know. Honestly, I just don't. Yeah, I gotta go down there.
I'm on it.
Well, you can scroll on the map with the mouse and then select where you gotta go, and the character will automatically go there. If you've already been to that area of the map. If you haven't, then you have to clear the fog of war. So, that's that. Well, excuse you.
Sorted.
I should have joined the army.
It's kind of weird also, the accents are all over the place. Kind of reminds me of Dragon Age Origins, where the dwarves had sort of North American accents, and some of the elves had North American accents, but everyone else had a British accents of different types, right? Well, since I'm not a thief, I guess I can't open that container. So I
Right,
can't
what's
carry
this
on the
then?
great tradition of grabbing everything that is not nailed down. Like this gold, conveniently in a chest outside this building.
I have a blade with your name on it.
Well, you want to kill me? You want to kill me? Really? Okay, well, that didn't go so well for you, man. Whoever Carbos you were.
Sorted.
And I guess I sorted him. Nothing there. By the way, that's like classical RPGs. You loot everything and everyone and everything just to be safe.
I'm on it.
Something on your mind?
Like I said, the accents are all over the place. Yeah, he said, I mean, stupid. I have a shield, armor, and a longsword. He has a knife. That guy wasn't gonna win. Right? Right? I hope not. That would be stupid. Like, hey, step right up. Go into the first building. Get murdered with a guy with a knife, because, yeah, that would be fun. I gotta say, it's still, you know, with the old CGI and everything else, they're pretty pretty.
It's me, Emmeline.
And this is, in fact, your first party member, Imoen, who happens to be a thief, as you can tell by the fact he's wearing a cowl. The sprite is wearing a cowl, not the face model. Hey, little portrait of her. He wants to go on a life adventure because, you know, that's what young girls who wear hoodies in giant castles want to do. For some reason or another. I don't know. Sure, right?
The worm shall wander the earth, and such a pestilence will follow in his wake that all that know of his
You know, I'm gonna leave these guys to their creepy chanting. I don't know if I could have remained my sanity if I would constantly hear that outside my window, like, everything's going to die, the Lord of Terror is going to terrorize everything, amen. I'm like, oh, fuck off, man. Oh, wait a minute, there was a door here? I didn't have to explore the map. Always explore the map.
I'm on it.
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
I suppose he's Irish? An elven? And a mage. You tell me, I have no idea. And I keep sorting stuff for some reason. Which is a problem because I was, working with your inventory later on. It's going to require a lot of sorting. Good thing he doesn't say that when you're in the inventory screen. It's like, hey, I picked up a knife. Sort it. I got a magical sword. Sort it. I got a useless broken shield. Sort it. He doesn't do that. And yes, I just butchered already a bad English accent.
Oh, my child, I am glad I have found you.
No, we're done. Mosquitoes, huh? I don't have to worry about those. There's a chikungunya thing going around where I live.
Listen carefully. If
So
we
yeah,
ever
mosquitoes
become
can be
separated, it is imperative that
difficult.
you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them.
Yeah, that wasn't ominous enough, old man. And I got a spell on me. Some kind of spell, I don't know.
Sorry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. I will explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait, there is something wrong. We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
You're perceptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand
I
over
think
your
those are
sword and no one
ogres.
will be hurt. If you
I think
resist,
those
it shall be a
ogres,
waste
if
of
not
your
giants.
life.
This guy brought giants.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, old man.
I could use a little patching up.
Yeah, I can't even fight. This is sort of a cutscene of some sort. Oh, the old man is kicking ass. The spells effects are pretty nice. And down goes the old man. Now I'm alone in the world.
Dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Oh, so we're playing the... If you didn't do all these quests in the starting area is close up to you, and you can never return. Oh, and we meet again the scary armored figure from the intro. Great. And Imoen just shows up a day later, I suppose. And you didn't help him. Nice, Imoen.
You rang. I'm on it.
Now to explore the map.
Hello there.
And one of the things I want to say is that, again, now that we have Imoen in our party, this is also a trend from Bioware. You basically create just one character, and then as you go along, you acquire a party. You don't create a complete party as you would do in a Dungeons & Dragons game. And other versions like Icewind Dale allow you to make an entire party. But here, no. You have one character, and then you have anybody who tags along. Well, if you accept them in your party, then they're members of your party. It makes for interesting dynamics. You don't have a lot of control over them. I mean, not complete control of them outside of combat. And also, you'll see sooner or later you have to have party banter as well. Oh, 2 more fellows on the road.
Ye already be disturbed. Now leave me be. Your company be toil enough as is.
Montaran, you are so aggravating. 'Tis disturbing to my demeanor.
Oh yeah, the accents are all over the place. And those portraits are not... They're kind of crazy, actually. Czar and Montaron. I don't know, that sounds like a plan, but I have things to do, I have to meet people in an inn. My party's still not complete.
Go on then, I'm on it.
And I have 4 party members. But you can see in the right corner of the screen, the band in the right corner of the screen, there's probably space for a couple more. Oh, caravan raids. I haven't seen any damage here. Okay, now this is the world map. Let's see where we can go. I guess we can go back.
Right, what's this then?
Oh, this is a new area. And now the dogs are attacking.
Spit it out.
That's another thing about this combat, which again, Dragon Age Inquisition
You're a clear fellow.
has a tactical view, and Dragon Age Origins has that as well. The idea that you have, it's basically supposed to be real time, but what you do is that you pause the action and then give orders to all your members of your party to cast spells, to do melee attacks, and that sort of thing. So really, it's more like a start, stop, start, stop, start, up, stop type of combat situation. And wow, Imoen got a huge hit. You can see that the portrait is filling up with red. That means that she took a hit, a severe hit. And at these levels, you probably have no more than 10, maybe 15 hit points if you have a high constitution.
What you want?
If you don't, then well, let's give her a potion because she's gonna need it. I think she also has a wand as well. That's me. no time to identify magical items, even if I could identify them. There she goes. She has her dagger. And because I unequipped my sword, now I'm trying to hit the guy with my fist. Which is stupid because I have no proficiencies in fist.
Get over here!
I feel so
Spit it out.
In the lower bar you can see the abilities, the spells. Paladins can heal with lay on hands, so I'm going to do that to Imoen. I think that's what I did. And all the wild dogs are dead.
I'm on it.
Second combat of the day. We're doing fine. A bit wounded, but fine. You get scrolls, or magic users get scrolls, at least the magic users, the wizards, and they can learn from them. Clerics and druids and others do not learn from their scrolls. So. Kind of also reminds me again of Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins has a part when you go to the forest and you get attacked by wolves. So I guess, you know.
Spit it out. Sorted.
Always use the classics, right? Again, this game used the rule set from 2nd edition. And it's a very interesting story because in many ways it shows the sort of the convoluted
That's about enough.
relationships between Wizard of the Coast, TSR before it disappeared, Bioware, Atari, and Black Isle, and everyone else who had rights on it. I'll link to a Gamma Sutra article below this video that talks about the making of this game. But suffice to say that the relationships are pretty complicated. Now, Bioware was the developer, right? They're the people who actually made the game, the original game, Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. But Atari had the distribution rights, so they were the ones who actually were putting up the money. But they were doing it under a license by TSR/Wizard of the Coast to use Advanced Dungeons & Dragons rule set, which is emulated here. And now here I'm looting the bodies of my dead father and the people that try to kill him. Because, hey, adventure, you loot everything. And when in doubt, you loot some more, right? Okay, that was a little fast. The next time I'll have to make sure that I don't cycle through this too fast. I have a magical belt of some sort. But again, I'll have to find the time to identify it. That's a problem. You know, you get a lot of treasure, but if it's magical, you have to have an identify spell, which means you have to have a wizard that does the identifying, and, well, kind of slows down things a bit. You just, no item that is unidentified can be used. The character simply won't use it for whatever reason. That's just a limitation. He's a first level mage, so he doesn't have a lot of spells. As soon as I get more scrolls, he probably expand his repertoire of offensive spells. The hit points are pretty low, 9, 4. You know, these guys don't have a lot. He's a thief, fighter thief. Multi-classing was the way you can stack multiple classes on a character back in the day. But it has some very Yankee rules as well. Now this I like. I don't remember this in the original. The animations, when you're resting and stuff like that. The ones they make for the enhanced edition are pretty nice. It kind of gives you a feel what you're doing.
Spit it out. I'm on it.
Another thing is I haven't talked about the setting yet. This is set in the Forgotten Realms, I believe in the Sword Coast.
Your voice is ambrosia.
Thank you, Sar. That That means a lot coming from you. This is set in the Forgotten Realms in the Sword Coast, which is in the west coast, the area of Candlekeep, Baldur's Gate, and Waterdeep, in the far west coast of the continent of Faerun. Right?
Oh, there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Okay, and he just wants to talk to me. Okay, he's a crazy old man who just
You rat sorted.
wanted to talk to me because reasons, I suppose. Uh-oh, what the heck is that?
Go on then.
Well, it didn't last long. I think Imoen was the one that
Stick
killed him with
sorted.
a shot from her bow. Good job, Imoen. Now I have to go to the inn. Like I said, this is 2nd edition rules set in the Forgotten Realms. The vast majority of video games tied to Dungeons & Dragons throughout its history have been in the Forgotten Realms. Eowyn. I don't know what the name of the guy is. The music is great, by the way. It's classical. It's the original soundtrack that got remastered. Another good point. I always like the soundtrack on these games. Games that were set in the Forgotten Realms have been the Pool of Radiance games. The last one, by the way, was made by Ubisoft. Or at least it was Pool of Radiance in name only, and it was also isometric view like this. And I was reading the wiki page, and it seems that they screwed up as badly then as they screwed up Assassin's Creed Unity. So they,
Right,
the whole thing about, broken games on launch is old enough. Back in the day, it was very difficult to patch in. By the way, if you want to hear about my takes on AC Unity and the patching culture, there's a video which I will link to below, so you can hear my thoughts on that. But suffice to say that there have been plenty of games set up in the Forgotten Realms. The Curse of Assure Bonds were a series of them. The Eye of the Beholder were 2 others. Those were made. All of them were made by SSI, which was a company that had an exclusive rights making a Dungeons and Dragons game for a very long time. 2 other games were made in Dark Sun setting. 4 games were made for Dragonlance.
Yep.
1 was made for Ravenloft and another one for Birthright. And I believe, and only 1 was made for actually the oldest of Dungeons and Dragons settings, which was Greyhawk, and that was the Temple of Elemental Evil, which also launched as a very buggy game. And we got ourselves a scroll, and a bunch of other stuff I'll sell whenever I get the chance. Money's always good. Swords, well, I can only use 1 sword, so let's see what happens. No, armor. Okay, let's see if our resident mage, Zar, can use that spell. How do I transfer it? Okay, transferring now. Okay, and he wrote the spell, so now it's in his inventory. He can learn that spell whenever, But he doesn't have a spell or scroll of identify, so he can't identify my belt. That sucks.
I'm on it.
Magic items always, investing in these games gave you a lot of advantages, so getting them sorted out as soon as possible, it's crucial. One other thing I like about this game as well is that starting this game, the description of magical items, once they start identifying, they try to give them their own lore, right? A +1 sword was not just another +1 sword. It had a little bit of a description, right? These games are not kind of Diablo-like games. They're not, loot mill type of situations where you just kill a lot of monsters, get a lot of loot, go back to town, and rinse and repeat. I like that a lot about Bioware games. something I hated about Dragon Age 2, where, you know, some of the loot was like generic sword plus something, right? I hope they keep the tradition. They certainly kept the tradition in Dragon Age Origins, and games like Neverwinter Nights, which is another game in Forgotten Realms as well.
Yes, friend?
Well, she doesn't have a lot to say. The Centurion from another place across the continent,
Well there.
but not from the Sword Coast. So, talk to everybody. That's another thing you should do in RPGs. I haven't been doing it. So I'm gonna go here because, hey, door, right? And there's some guy.
I'm on it.
Okay, let's see if Imoen can open it.
I care not. This way.
We select Thievery, and she failed at her picklock. But there's a sword there. Okay.
Go on.
And yes, the people don't mind. This is not Fallout 3
I'm
where,
on
you
it.
know, people mind you steal their stuff.
Hello, pal.
Well,
You right. Sorted.
he's not very friendly, is he?
Right, what's this then?
Again, the backgrounds are, you know, a little bit old, but, you know, the buildings, but the grass, the trees, the cows still hold up. Even the birds. For some reason in this world there's bald eagles, apparently, so there's that. And the sprites still look very good.